It's going to hurt, and it'll hurt for a while, and probably, that stuff never goes away. I've lost one before, and so that was part of the message. Let it propel us forward. The experience and growth and progress that we made this season, obviously getting to your ultimate goal and falling a few games short, is going to hurt, and there are a lot of guys in there very emotional right now.
This is tough. Getting to this point and not accomplishing what we wanted to, it hurts. And, we all could have did things better. I feel like I could have done a lot of things better. But, like we said, we competed, we tried all season, all playoffs.
All right, so we heard from Perk. Zach, I kind of want to get your take here. What exactly was the biggest issue for the Celtics, Steph Curry aside?
Lack of offensive execution, bad decision-making, too many turnovers, too slow at times. And you can chalk that up to a lot of things. Inexperience and fatigue, likely from the load they carried. But most of all, the Golden State Warriors from day one, all the fireworks, all the Splash Brothers, that's all great and it's all important. They built this thing with defense too. And they reminded you in this series, we were the second best defense all year. Yep. They locked the Celtics up. A lot of the credit for what the Celtics did and all the mistakes they made has to go to the Warriors, because for all the sexy stuff, for all the threes, this is a team that knows we got to be an elite defensive team to get where we want to go, and they've been a consistently elite defensive team dating to even Mark Jackson's years too. Well,
the eye-popping stat for me was 100 turnovers for Jason Tatum collectively.
Look, I've played with guys that turn over the ball. Jason Kidd, he's led the league in assists multiple times, led the league in turnovers multiple times. You understand it from a playmaking aspect. LeBron James, he's going to score, facilitate all this. I think Jason Tatum, his most natural role, the role that will allow him to excel, is a basketball player that scores. And I say that in the sense of this. When you ask him to playmake, it's very similar to Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard has improved his playmaking ability, but for the most part, at his prime, he is not a playmaker. He's a scorer and a finisher. And that's why for the last couple of years, they were talking about finding a point guard for this group, because that will eliminate some of these areas, and it'll allow for a growth period for Jason Tatum.
But when you talk about, and that's the thing, when we talk about point guards, right? It's not your traditional point guard. Like, we're not going to go find a Rajon Rondo. So when we talk about the Celtics need a point guard, like, what are we talking about?
I just more mean someone that can help facilitate. You saw how much they struggled to create for themselves and create for them towards the end. Because if you're trying to win a championship, you have to have that mentality at the end. Yes, you can get through a few rounds, but you want to be able to have guys that, like, hey, Jason Tatum, I'm going to feed you an easy bucket. It's just like when they take Steph off the ball. Steph's got Draymond out there creating and feeding for him. That's one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen, and he's got another guy out there that's just popping the ball, moving the ball, trying to get you easier shots while you work. And I think all great players need that to a certain degree.
I agree. And then another thing real quick, Malik, is that I hear a lot of people saying, oh, the Celtics, they got time. Like, it's not a guarantee that you make it back to the finals.
Ask the Milwaukee Bucks.
I know a couple of guys that made it there one time and never went back.
I will say, though, there is something to be said for getting all the way there and then having your heart broken. When you have that, Ime Udoka talked about it last night, when you have that sit with you, when you have that feeling, it doesn't really go away until you get back there again.
So hard
we saw that with the Milwaukee Bucks. It's hard to get back there, but if the Celtics do, there you go.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.